We want to get now to our Andy Judson, who is out in the field. Those polls have closed tonight, but we're trying to get those results in slowly but surely.
Andy is in Sacramento County. So Andy, talk to us. I know you're getting a behind-the-scenes look at this whole process, and you're learning something about folks who have perhaps received multiple ballots?
Yeah, Chris and Laura, whether you voted in person, by mail, or by that ballot drop box for my Sacramento County voters, your ballot ends up right here in the building. And so when it comes here, you'll take a, sorry for 1 second, there we go. And when it comes here, you'll see that it comes, if you're voted by ballot drop box, you'll see it comes right back here. This is where it comes. These fine folks here, everyone cheered right when the 8 p.m. hit, so the ballot stopped, but then they got right to work. You can see they sorted all of these ballots over here to the left so quickly that they're waiting for those next batches to come in. But we have one report of people receiving multiple ballots. So we talked with our Sacramento County elections official, Ken, about that. Take a listen. We've heard of people receiving multiple ballots. Why is that?
So there are a variety of reasons somebody might receive more than one ballot. They could change their voter registration in some way. They could change their address, and maybe they received their ballot when it went out on February 5th, and then they move and they get a new, change their address, they get a new ballot at their new address. If they are a no party preference voter and they wanted to vote in one of those parties or one of those primaries that doesn't allow crossover voting, like the Republican Party or the Green Party, that would also initiate a change. They'd receive another ballot. So there are a few reasons why somebody might receive more than one ballot.
And so if you receive more than one ballot, does that mean that you can vote more than one time?
It absolutely does not. One person, one vote. You can only cast your ballot once. So don't try to vote twice.
And can you speak to why people can't vote twice, even if it's maybe the same signature?
So the first ballot that we receive that matches your signature is the ballot that gets counted.
And so for the most recent Sacramento County voter turnout, we're at 21%. So far, ballots that have been come in and voted are counted are around 187,000. But again, it's a long night ahead for the elections workers here. A lot of them said they came in around 6 a.m. this morning, and they're going to be here till midnight or even the early morning hours, making sure that your vote is counted as well as in the days to come. For now, we'll send it back to you, Chris and Laura.
That's right, Andy. It could take days to certify these results that have come in through the mail-in ballot, so it'll take a while before we really get those final answers there. We want to get now to our Becca Habiger, who has been tracking the Sacramento mayoral race as well, and then we have Jeannie Wynn too. But let's start with Becca. She's at a watch party, I believe, for Dr. Flo Kofer.
Yeah, Laura, you know, a lot of excited supporters here for Dr. Flo Kofer, or Dr. Flo as she goes by. That's despite the fact that just a few minutes ago, with 12% of the ballots returned and counted, at least in the results, the initial results, we're seeing Flo Kofer is squarely in fourth place at this point. The top three, Dr. Pan, Steve Hansen, and Kevin McCarty, are all within 300 votes of each other. Flo Kofer is more than 1,000 votes apart from the third place person. But again, as Andy mentioned, it's still very early in the night. You know, this all kicked off with Dr. Flo, this whole mayoral race, because she was the first candidate to declare her candidacy. That was back in April. Now this public health professional joins three others as the top front runners. She joins former Sacramento City Council member Steve Hansen, current Assembly member Kevin McCarty, and former State Senator Dr. Richard Pan. The other two candidates are U.S. Marine Corps Captain and personal trainer Jose Antonio Avina II and Asset Protection Manager Julius Engel. Now this afternoon I spoke with current Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg. He and political analysts I've spoke with say the top two vote getters who will go on to the November election could be any combination, likely of the four front runners. Here's how Mayor Steinberg breaks it all down.
You know, one candidate for mayor is calling for fundamental change in the direction of the city and towards a more progressive side. And it'll be interesting to see how Dr. Kofer does. There are other candidates who are, again, backed by the business community, one in particular, former Councilmember Hansen. Senator Pan has a little bit of that profile as well. who are saying that you know, some of the views of the business community in terms of homelessness and other issues, that must be the policy of the city. You have Assemblymember McCarty, who brings an array of experience from the legislature, who I think is, I would describe him as more center-left.
He emphasized the fact that Sacramento's form of government, council manager, means the mayor's vote is just one among 9. He says while the mayor can set the tone and be the face of the city, it ultimately takes consensus among a majority of council members to get things done. So Mayor Steinberg is also closely watching the races of the open council districts too. Now we have team coverage on Sacramento's mayoral race. ABC 10's Luke Clary and I are covering the various watch parties throughout the city as candidates see the results roll in. You know, keep in mind with 4 front runners and with predicted lower voter turnout, we'll find out about those numbers shortly. It really could be anyone's race at this point. Those top 2 vote getters we might not know until some of the mail-in ballots dropped in those blue post office boxes today and yesterday finally arrive at the county, and the county poll workers count those. So again, we could know the top 2 vote getters in the mayoral candidates race tonight if the split is very far, but at this point, I'm looking at the results that just came in. Richard Pan is in first place, Steve Hance is in second place, Kevin McCarty's in third place, and again, they are all within 300 votes of each other, and only 12% of those ballots are included in these results. So there's a lot more to watch with this race coming up. We'll be watching it closely and bring you the latest results tonight at Late News Tonight at 11.
Our Becca Habegger live for us tonight. We'll check back in throughout the evening. Keep in mind, 9 candidates are running to replace former City Council member Sean Laloy in District 2. You may remember he was forced to step down. Our Jeannie Nguyen is following that race for us tonight and joins us live with the latest. Hey, Jeannie.
Hey, Chris. Right now we are at Roger Dickinson's watch party, and bear with me, it is loud here, but I'm going to step out of the way so you can take a look now. It is very full here. We're at a local bar off of Del Paso Boulevard. There's a lot of people here supporting Dickinson. We've even seen some current sitting council members. Councilmember Katie Maple was here, Mai Vang, as well as Karina Talamantes. You know, and just moments ago, as the polls closed, his campaign was looking at the early results, and so far, Roger Dickinson is in the lead with the most votes at this moment. He did give a little speech to his supporters here at this bar, thanking them, and you know, honestly, just being very excited and looking forward to the future and being very hopeful that this will turn out in his favor. As you can see now, he's just talking to Councilmember Katie Maple. A lot of his constituents and supporters, business owners are here supporting him. Again, there are 9 people running for this seat though, so it is still very early. Even though Roger Dickinson is in the lead right now, it's still early. We did talk to some of the other candidates earlier today. We went to a watch party for Kim Davey, Penelope Larry, and Ramona Landeros. Again, all of them very hopeful and confident going into tonight. But you know, we will continue to keep track of this race and keep you updated as those results continue to come in. Chris and Laura.
Yeah, Jeannie, the night's still young, hope still high, still a lot of excitement at those watch parties. Thank you.